Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video, and today we'll be doing a comparison between the all-new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus and the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. And at the end of the video, we shall see if it's really worth upgrading from the Galaxy S9 Plus to the latest and the greatest Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Also, if you like my content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. All the links are down in the video description. Alright, so let's begin the video. So first, let's start off with the RAM and storage options. The new Galaxy S10 Plus comes with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage for the base model. This goes all the way up to 1TB of storage and a whopping crazy 12GB of RAM. That's actually more memory than most gaming laptops out there. Meanwhile, the Galaxy S9 Plus comes with 6GB of RAM and 64GB of storage for the base model. That goes all the way up to 256GB of storage. Meanwhile, the RAM remains at 6GB. It's also worth mentioning that you get a more faster and an efficient processor on the S10 Plus, which is the new Exynos 9820 and the Snapdragon 855 if you buy the S10 Plus in the US and China. Now, on paper, the processor of the S10 Plus is in fact a lot faster than the S9 Plus, and you can also see that in the benchmark results. But in real life, day-to-day usage, you will barely notice any difference. You can see both these phones are neck to neck, and both the phones are able to launch apps instantly without any hiccups. Now coming to the display and the design, both these phones have awesome, gorgeous, high-resolution AMOLED displays, but the S10 Plus has a slightly bigger and a higher resolution 6.4-inch display versus 6.2 inches on the S9 Plus. And the best part is that the actual size of the phone is almost identical. That is because the bezels are now thinner on the S10 Plus, and because the bezels are now so thin, there was no space to put the camera on top of the screen, so now it's kind of underneath the screen and there's a cutout over here. And the S10 Plus has a dual camera setup, unlike the S9 Plus, which has a single camera setup. And trust me, the camera cutout is not intrusive in any way. During your normal day-to-day use, you will not even notice that there's a camera cutout. And see that white flashing light? That's the proximity sensor that is also located under the display. And guess what? The S10 Plus actually weighs in at 175 grams as opposed to 189 grams of the S9 Plus, and that is despite S10 Plus having a bigger battery. Overall, this translates into a better feeling and a better looking phone. I guess it's also worth mentioning that the screen of the S10 Plus is HDR10 Plus capable. The plus is what matters here. But yeah, good luck finding HDR10 Plus content because it's actually very scarce. The Galaxy S10 Plus has a total of 3 cameras on its back. 2 of them are exactly the same as the S9 Plus, the regular camera and the telephoto camera. But the third one on the S10 Plus is an ultra wide angle camera. And yes, it does have a crazy ultra wide angle. And all 3 cameras can record in 4K. Now here's something new. The S10 Plus, in addition to optical image stabilization, also has something called super steady shot for video recording, which the S9 Plus does not. So videos on the S10 Plus do turn out to be less shaky when compared to the S9 Plus. However, I was comparing some pictures taken by both of these phones, and turns out the image quality and the video quality on both of these phones are identical. The S10 Plus also upgrades the front camera from 8 megapixels on the S9 Plus to a 10 megapixel camera. And the secondary camera on the S10 Plus is an 8 megapixel camera, but it's not accessible to the user because it's only a depth sensing camera for that sweet background blur. And I think it's also worth mentioning that the front camera on the S10 Plus now records in 4K. And yes, obviously the quality of the front facing camera on the S10 is better than the one on the S9 Plus. For biometrics, the S9 Plus has an iris scanner, a standard fingerprint scanner which is located at the back of the phone, and face recognition. The S10 Plus takes away the iris scanner, but fingerprint scanner has been upgraded from a standard one to an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is now located under the display. The ultrasonic fingerprint scanner uses sound waves to reach your fingerprint, and the best part is that it works even when your fingers are wet. This is where the standard fingerprint scanners fail. And yes, I would pick up the in-display ultrasonic fingerprint scanner over iris scanner and the traditional fingerprint scanner any day because it's more convenient and feels more futuristic and mature. Lastly, the S10 Plus has a huge 4100 mAh battery, and that is quite a step forward from the modest 3500 mAh battery of the S9 Plus. Now, one new feature on the S10 Plus is called wireless power share. This effectively turns your phone into a wireless charging power bank, and you can share some charge with your friend's phone. And this will also charge wearables like this Galaxy Watch, and yeah, you can charge other brands' phone too, as long as they support QI wireless charging. Now, if you upgrade to the Galaxy S10 Plus over the S9 Plus, you will get more RAM, 8 GB on the S10 Plus versus 6 on the S9 Plus. You get more storage, 128 gigs on the S10 Plus versus 6 on the S9 Plus. New, faster, and more efficient processor on the S10 Plus. Futuristic in-display fingerprint scanner, HDR10 Plus display, an extra ultra-wide camera on the back, bigger screen in the exact same form factor as the S9 Plus, huge 4100 mAh battery, and wireless power share. Now, if you upgrade to the S10 Plus, you will lose out on the notification LED, iris scanner, and a hole free display. Some people tend to hate having notches or a hole in the display, so that's one thing to keep in mind. But according to me, that hole is not a problem. So these are really the big key differences that set the Galaxy S10 Plus apart from the old S9 Plus. And now pricing and freebie offers do vary from countries to countries, so do check with Amazon or your local retailer before making any purchase. Oh, and one more thing I totally forgot is that you also lose the 3D home button on the S10 Plus. They might have removed it because the location of the in-display fingerprint scanner is the same as the pressure sensitive home button on the S9 Plus. So, should you go out and get the Galaxy S10 Plus? My conclusion is yes. If you have the spare cash, sell your S9 Plus and get the S10 Plus. You don't even need to get the top end model, just get the base model S10 Plus, which has 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. It's a better phone in every way possible. It feels more mature, refined, and hey, not to mention it has a bigger battery and the third wide angle camera. Now, I'm not saying that the S9 Plus is obsolete by any means. It's still an awesome and a fantastic smartphone with great performance, but the S10 Plus is definitely a step up from the S9 Plus. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this video has helped you out in making a decision. Thank you for watching, and do stay tuned for more videos on the Galaxy S10 Plus.